The greatest version of that I've ever seen with seeing somebody picking their nose like live, like live in on TV was during the '96 World Series. It was Greg Maddux. So Joe Buck was because Greg Maddux was defeated in Game 6 and the whole thing, and so in Game 2 he threw 8 shutout innings, right? So after that it was either Game 4 or Game 5, and when they were in Atlanta, and Joe Buck was talking about what would happen if it went back to New York. If the Yanks tie it up or they go ahead and it goes back to New York, they would have to face Greg Maddux. And he was talking up Greg Maddux, the great pitching performance by the great Greg Maddux and this and that. And the camera went right to Greg Maddux, and he's sitting there, and with his thumb, he was thumbing the inside of his nose.
That's horrible. He's all up in there.
He was getting in there, man, with his fucking thumb. He was thumbing the shit. It was fantastic. Because that story's too good. What I think we're going to do. We're going to do the intro right now, but I am going to cut the show from before that. So that is the lead-in, and then we get into the show. So on that note, good evening, everybody. It's the 11th of January, 2018. Welcome to the garage. With me tonight, Walt Campos. Say hello, Walt. Hey, what's up, John?
Yeah, so, that's one way to start the show. Every week is going to be something different. We don't know. Greg knows serial nose thumber. I mean, he got his shit up there, huh?
He was getting with his thumb, man. It was like, who the hell uses their thumb? That thing.
Charlie, they got my thumb.
It's like, pick another, more sensitive finger. I mean, it's your nose we're talking about, Yeah, get in there with your thumb,
He likes to go scorched earth. He likes to just rip everything out.
He likes it rough, I don't know.
That's fucking horrible, man. Greg Maddux. Why he was such a good pitcher, because he had Snot on the ball.
There you go. That had to have been it. That had to have been
it. That was the secret weapon. A little snot under the thumb then.
It's a snot ball. Better than the spitball, more movement than the spitball.
Right, because it's a stickier substance. Spit is a little watery, but snot, even that's got some film on there.
Exactly.
It's kind of like using gum for a better grip.
That's why if you notice, his pitches always had that weird movement. It always had that weird movement. He would make X's on the plate and everything. You learn to control that.
Like how do you account for snot? You can't, especially if he's doing it between innings. Oh no, I'm between innings. I got to get a good rub.
Yeah, and the secret is you got to keep it moist. You got to keep your nose moist, because if it dries up, you're fucked.
Jalapenos.
Yeah, exactly. Jalapenos, exactly. So if you got to keep your nose moist somehow. So
that's
a challenge. You might as well pitch fairly.
You can't use like Sudafed or anything like that. Eventually, that'll dry up. Won't work.
Exactly.
So similar to that, a dude takes too much Viagra and goes on a naked poo throwing airport through a rampage through an airport. Dude takes too much Viagra, goes on naked poo throwing airport rampage. News at 11.
Oh my gosh.
So, 27-year-old New Yorker, can't take you fuckers anywhere. Steve Cho, he was waiting for a flight in International Airport in South Korea, and apparently he overdosed on Viagra. So he terrified onlookers as he ran through the airport, throwing his own feces at staff and public. He also tore through stores, destroying their goods and yelling incoherently. 6 security guards and airport staff had to pounce on him. They pounced on him. He was covered in shit, his own shit, throwing it at people, and then they had to jump on him. It's fucking horrible.
Horrible.
One person said, "This was the scariest and most disgusting thing I've ever saw at an airport. I stayed away from the man because he attacked anybody." So this is the most disgusting, the scariest and most disgusting thing they've seen at an airport, but not in general. In general, they see worse shit than that every day.
Of
not at the
course.
airport.
It's called Tuesday.
When in fuck it.
But fucking horrible, man. Imagine if he'd have waited and gotten on a plane. You know, never mind the airport. Imagine if you would have gotten on the plane. Now you're in a
you're enclosed.
You're in a tube with condensed air pressure.
With Viagra Man throwing the shit.
With Viagra Man, Tell me that plane isn't going down.
You know what they don't mention in the article, though, right? He's running around throwing shit at people, right? Throwing his own shit at people. And 6 security guards had to fucking tackle him, right? But if this dude is overdosing on fucking Viagra, his shit is like fucking like this, long stroke. So 6 people are jumping on this dude with this fucking hard hammer, fucking.
Exactly. Yo, did they taser him? Did it say it if they taser him?
It doesn't say if they tased him. They were trying to be sympathetic.
Because that would be interesting if they tased him, because you would want to see, if you tase somebody, you want to see if more shit comes out,
Right? Would he?
Because you want to see how they react to it,
At that point, would he shit all over the floor, or did he already shit? Did he already get all the shit out?
That's an interesting question.
Would he come?
Oh,
did he come or what?
He had to have come. He had to have come.
I don't know.
Because your
Maybe.
Your asshole and your taint and your balls, those are the most sensitive area, right? So
I guess as Walt explains about your asshole and your taint and your balls and how they're connected.
Hey man, you're the one that used to say, "Hey, scratch my taint."
I didn't used to say nothing. I still do.
See, I can't account. I can't attest for 2018. I can only attest for 2010, 2011. So
no, you're hearing it for now in 2018. This is my first official word that fucking scratching the taint is the best fucking feeling there is. Like Eddie Murphy talked about butt wipers. I would fucking hire taint scratchers.
Well, yeah,
nothing sexual about it.
No, not at all. It's, in fact, that's my whole point. Is your taint, your balls, and your asshole are all connected by the same nerves. So there you go.
Keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Okay, so apparently there's some kind of international standards that for people who overdose on Viagra throw shit at you. I don't know how the international community accounted for this, but I guess if you can't shoot a whale from a moving vehicle with a shotgun in Kentucky, I guess there's a rule for everything.
Wow.
So the Ministry of Tourism and Sports had to get him. I guess it's not weird. It's the airport. But yeah, I mean, that guy's from New York too. Went to fuck it. Went crazy.
Proud New York, man. Wear it proudly.
Yeah, you should. It's like it's like a badge. Yeah, we do crazy shit. Nobody likes us.
Absolutely. We used to say "fuck" is a comma to us. That's the least of our problems.
And I'll say this: it's a weird thing. I have a hard time down here because the people here, people in Florida, at least South Florida. I can't speak for the rest of it, but people in South Florida. Central Florida is mostly people. Everyone I know in Central Florida is from New York. There's a ton of them. But South Florida, I guess the same thing. There's a lot of people down here from up there. But the people that are from down here, they're hard. They're hard work. People talk about us being hard work, about us being assholes and stuff like that. But I've lived in a bunch of places in the country, and what you find, like when I was in Vegas, this was the case. Vegas has a lot of people from New York too. I mean, I guess there's not many people, so everywhere has a lot of people from New York. But we kind of gravitate towards each other when you're living in other places. You kind of gravitate towards. You seem to find other New Yorkers, and you gravitate towards each other because nobody else really quite understands you. But at the same time, it's hard to deal with people from you when you're from there because they just don't. we're a certain way, they have their ways, and our ways don't match with anybody's ways because we're just what we are. But you do find that you would you find yourself hanging out with New Yorkers that you would never even talk to back home. Like we are not in the same circles.
Wow.
You are the same circle.
It makes sense. It's kind of like how you end up in reverie. You end up listening to music from other decades because you're nostalgic about it, but yet it was music that you wouldn't normally have heard at the time because you probably didn't like it at the time, but you end up listening to it decades later because you're thinking about the past. Yeah, who the fuck listened to that shit back then?
Right. Who listened to Bon Jovi? But now I think Bon Jovi, that's a good song.
Yeah.
I never would. 20 years ago, I never would listen to that shit. But now,
exactly. Now it just brings you back to that time. You know? Yeah,
it's true.
It's like a smell that brings you back. Also. Music. Yeah.
It's true. I have a thing with air. There's something about the certain nights when the air feels a certain way that it reminds me of being 16, being out there, fucking run around and get fucked up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, like around late August, early September, there would be that smell in the air, and it was like the combination of humidity and the cold air would kind of meet. And it used to tell you that school, you had to go back to school soon. And when I was a kid, I hated that. I hated that smell. I hated that whole, because it made you feel like, oh shit, summer's over. You got to go back to school. You got to go through all that bullshit again. Now I smell that and I'm like, oh shit, this is great because I don't have to go back to school. I'm out of school. I don't have, so it's like a twist.
I grew up playing football, and I was always a better baseball player, but I like football more.
Right.
Pretty good football player too, though. I was just a little guy. I was like a fucking. People thought I was a dwarf.
Right.
They thought I was a full-grown dwarf. But like you would get when you're playing, because you're a kid, you're practicing at night, and you're practicing in whatever field it is, and you get knocked down, and the grass gets lumped up in your fucking face mask, and you smell the dirt in the grass as it gets ripped up and everything. Right? Look at that. That was the Greg Maddox. So like you get that smell, and for me, every September, late August, September, at night, that dirt grass smell would start kicking up, and I knew it was football season. And I coached for a long time too, so I would still, I basically was around the game for a long time. Until like I don't know, shit, when did I stop coaching? 2006 or something like that. So I was around the game for, quite a while.
Right.
So you get that smell. To me, that's what that reminds me of. But yeah, smell's a good one. The feel of the air. You get the combination of the feel of the air and a certain smell. Like
absolutely.
Like what tells you what is New York summer than smelling Zeppelis in the hot summer.
Right.
It tells you that's every frigging church fair that you ever had in a Catholic school ever anywhere.
Exactly. Fort Totten Fair and the Our Lady of Grace, all of that stuff.
Our Lady of Grace, yeah. Well, we had a ton of that shit. My neighborhood, we had a ton of that shit.
Yeah. Fun times, man.
It's weird how you transition to certain things. It's one thing that's I like the format when it's two people. The conversation tends to flow a little freer. I think when we get a third person on, flowing well, somebody has to take a back seat in those scenarios. But with the third person on, it's good to have. You tend to get a little bit more out of the topics, even if the rest of the conversation doesn't flow as freely.
Right.
But I it's going to be nice to get some guests on here.
Great. Yeah, that would be great.
It's going to be nice to go live. I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll see about how we can make that happen. So, a woman registers as a sex offender after making a sex tape with her Labrador.
Did you just say Labrador?
I did. I just said Labrador. A woman was forced to register as a sex offender after shocked cops discovered that she'd filmed herself having sex with a Labrador.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. They found the shocking video on her mobile phone when they raided her home for child abuse images. I mean, that
Oh
goes
my
in hand
God.
in hand. That goes in hand in hand. I mean, do you expect anything less? Do you expect a kitty porn peddler to not be fucking their dog when you walk in?
She's not from New York, too, is she?
Where is this? Where was this? It's probably in England. Whenever it's not New York, it could be in fucking. Oh, this is Scotland. Yeah,
There you go. They like the hairy bagpipes over there in Scotland.
yeah. She pleaded guilty to the hairy bagpipes. She pleaded guilty to 2 counts of possessing pornographic material between February 2016 and April 2017. So she's a known porn peddler.
Wow.
Photographs of children being sexually abused. That's what they're looking for. What kind of sick fuck is it? People are fucked up, man.
People are really fucked up.
Like, she's flicking her bean, looking at pictures of kids getting fucking sexually tortured.
Oh my God. Oh.
Now, what I want to know, did she blow the dog?
Oh my God. I hope not. I just had a visual there, and
I've seen a video. There's a video animal action, the older one,
oh my God.
right up your alley. There's one of this, and I think he busts over her, and it's like fucking buckets. It's like fucking buckets of glue dumped on somebody's head. It looks like the movie Carrie, only it's sperm, horse sperm, all over a woman's head.
Horse sperm. I was gonna say,
you.
the only weird thing I ever saw like that with bestiality and all that was a woman blowing a horse. That was the only thing that I've ever seen, and it was all of like 5 seconds, and the horse came like bucket loads into this woman's
There you
mouth.
go.
And
You've seen it too.
And it's the same. Is it the same one? Is it the same video?
One has to be. We both saw it. I just mentioned it, and you tell the same exact story.
Yeah.
Without even realizing.
I didn't.
It has to be the same one.
I didn't know if that was just something that just happened all the time, but
apparently women. Now hold on. It's possible we've seen 2 different videos of women blowing horses and having apparently like buckets worth.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Maybe we didn't. Maybe we saw different videos, and it is something that happens all the time. In that case, fucking your horse or fucking a dog in Scotland is just fucking normal.
Well, my only reaction to that was when I saw it. This was years ago. This was maybe like 20 years ago. Was I hope that woman got paid a lot of money, because to endure that would have been just.
Well, what if she liked the taste?
Man.
I'm
Jeez.
sorry. Is that misogynistic? I don't know. I mean,
I don't know what it is. I don't know what the hell is misogynistic nowadays. Everything, right? Everything is misogynistic.
I was actually just talking about this with my wife, and one of these singers, rappers, whatever she is, another one that was a former stripper that's made it big. And we were talking about that, and I've always appreciated strippers, and not for the stripping part, not what people talk about, but it's like I used to go to a bar that was a strip club. It was my regular bar, so I would talk to people, and all right. So I was a degenerate when I was like fucking 16. We went to strip clubs all the time where they would lock the doors and be there at 4 o'clock in the morning doing shots with the strippers, right? I did that for a long time.
Right.
Probably until I was like 25, 26. So, but I would talk to these girls because to me, there's, I've never been like a judgmental guy. I don't care. I mean, I come from certain places myself. So I don't care who you are as long as you're not a piece of shit. You don't treat me like shit. You don't do fucked up things.
Right.
Because people do what they think, if you NLP, all behaviors are constructed by nature. We all think that even the most fucked up thing, we all think we're doing the best thing possible at the moment with the information we have.
Right.
So I always viewed these as just people doing whatever they had to do to get by. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But if you like to do it, who the fuck am I to say anything? If a prostitute likes the work, who the fuck, a porn star likes fucking on camera? Like, who am I or anybody else to fucking judge that? Do you? You're living the dream.
Hey, God bless.
Exactly. You want to blow horses? You like to taste? Go for it. Well, who the fuck am I? Now, don't try to kiss me.
Tastes great, less filling.
Yeah, no, apparently it's more filling.
It's more filling. It's definitely a lot more filling.
Apparently, it's filling. That's a steak dinner for everybody. But like, so does that make me a typical man scumbag? You know, because all men are scumbags now.
Yeah, apparently.
Right. Does that make me that? You realize we're turning into the man show. I wasn't planning on this happening this way. I was always going to try to be more PC, but I realized that us curbing ourselves like that, like, what's the fucking point? What's the point? You're not going to put on the best show. It's going to be science. It's going to be forced. It's going to be bullshit. Ha ha ha! Like, am I Regis Philbin? Am I Regis fucking Philbin?
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I completely agree, because if you're more PC, if you curb yourself, you're only enabling more of that behavior. They're not going to give an inch. Why should you give an inch?
And I agree, absolutely. And the other thing is too is that I'm also not putting my voice out there. I'm also not, like, your crowd will find you if you're good at what you're doing. You know what I mean? And maybe a little controversy is good. And like again, strippers. Now, what we got into with this was, I like that you have these former strippers doing fucking good, and that because they're real people. A lot of them are fucking real. Like, you ever sit down and have a conversation with a homeless person?
Very rarely, but I do every now and then.
No, I'm serious. When my first job, I was an expediter at a restaurant in Manhattan, my first full-time job, right? Me and my buddy Joe, we would, after work, we would get bottles of rum, and we were like 19. So we had to get somebody in Manhattan. They weren't going to sell it to you. We had to get somebody to buy us a bottle of rum. And we would get a 2-liter bottle of Coke, and we'd mix the rum and Coke, and we would sit in Washington Square Park all night, right? And we'd be like loaded.
Right.
At a certain point, where the only people in the park are you and a bunch of bumps. And
right.
So what? Here's some drinks, guys, on us. But they'll tell you some shit, man.
Oh,
they will tell you some shit. Either that or they'll try to fucking, rob you for your fucking whatever. But
sure.
It's not true. It's not true. It's just not true. A lot of them are just people down on their luck. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they'll tell you some shit. So like like to see like the strippers or whatever do well. I like to see that. I don't even know how I got into that. But other than, hey, do your fucking thing and be you. They were singing about how they fucking love cock. They love it. Love that cock. Do it.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Find something you love and do it for the rest of your life.
Hey, man, take care of the Kinko's guy, right?
Take care of the fucking Kinko's guy. You don't have to tell a stripper that.
It's so true. Just be your genuine self. Fuck everything else. Doesn't matter.
When and fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what do you think about this, Walter? Can you really break a man's penis during sex?
I hope not.
Apparently, there's an article on the positions most likely to cause penile fracture.
Oh.
We talk a lot about dicks on the show.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. Somehow it always comes back down to dicks. Like, fucking, yeah, watch these guys. They're a fucking bag of dicks. All they talk about is cock.
Hey, what was the name of our podcast in the past? D's Nuts, right?
D's Nuts. That's, there you go. There it is. Yeah, so you can break your penis. You can actually break your cock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're too vigorous in the bedroom, you could face a penis breakage. I wonder if I've ever broken my cock and didn't realize.
No, I think you would know, because apparently I heard from Dennis Rodman actually, that he broke his penis twice. I think one time he was fucking Carmen Electra, and he kind of aimed wrong and
what's the cure for that? Did they put it in a cast?
He went to the hospital. And they had to do something. I forgot what it was, but they actually had to take care of that, because he like broke the cartilage or something.
Well,
Or
like
whatever the hell it is, whatever the hell it was.
You either had to cast that up or you put it in a splint.
Something. Yeah. But he did it twice.
Yeah, that's my cock splint.
She must have some buns of steel. That's all I have to say. Because he obviously swung and missed.
So yeah, then they say there's other intimate injuries that can occur, including the tearing of the foreskin.
Oh man,
that sucks.
That's no good.
Yeah, no, that sucks. That fucking hurts. Yeah, that feels like fucking you got the clap.
Yeah.
Not that I know what that feels like. Yeah, so a penile fracture is caused by rapid blunt force to an erect penis.
Oh.
It typically occurs during vaginal intercourse or aggressive masturbation. Imagine breaking your own cock jerking off. Like
wow.
If you break your dick jerking off, you're doing it wrong.
How aggressive does it have to be? I mean, that's just crazy.
Right? What are you into that you're breaking your dick with your bare hands?
What kind of massive roids are you on to fucking rip your dick off like that?
I mean, you have to be like fucking, your hands are like Andre the Giant and your dick is like fucking this big.
Right, exactly.
Like you're going to break your own dick jerking off. Like how aggressive, right? You were scoring. I would think you would rip your own skin off before you fucking broke your dick.
Oh, totally.
Like rub burns.
Absolutely.
That's fucking horrible. So if you feel any pain after sex, it's always important to visit your doctor. Hey, doc, I don't know what the fuck happened here, but fuck, you look this, it's bent the wrong way.
I don't know, man, but I'm starting to feel really good about myself because there's people who that has happened to them. I'm feeling pretty good about my life right now.
Huh.
So it's very, very uplifting story.
Some of the riskiest moves are the least exotic, apparently. So what are they? Let's see. I'm trying to find out. Wow. Second was missionary.
Oh.
So doggy style is the most dangerous. 41% of people break their cocks during doggy style.
Oh my God.
25% break their cocks with missionary. And the third place is a woman on top.
The woman on top. So it's the woman's fault.
Well, isn't it always?
Apparently not anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if it is, like, who are you going to tell?
Exactly.
I give that argument.
Exactly.
Babe, apparently you could break a guy could break his cock. You know that? No, that explains some things.
He's going to demonstrate.
Yeah, see, I'm getting harassed here. I got ordered around here. Like I'm trying to do my show, and I'm for phallic symbols and all kinds of crazy shit. Yeah, so I'm fucking people. Yeah, so that was the news portion of the show tonight.
Wow.
Yeah,
nice current events.
Interesting, right? Yeah. So there were some good ones out there. Like I said, it was just been a crazy week. So. And I'm not even going to get into all the stuff that happened. Although I'm noticing here, from the way the light is reflecting for the first time, you can see how my nose is all checked out. Oh, man. So what's going on with you?
Same old thing, just working a lot. Dealing with the fucking shit weather that we're dealing with right now. The snow is starting to melt. So that's good news, but there's going to be rain on the way. So, but it'll be good because it'll wash away the rest of it, I think. So
we're good. We got back to normal here, but I'm thinking about things.
Yeah. Last time we spoke, it was 40 degrees over there by you, right?
Oh yeah, it's better. It's like in the 80s getting Florida.
Nice.
Yeah. My plants are doing great.
Nice.
Crazy shit happens, right? And a lot of times it's there to put things into perspective for you. And really, people get all worked up about life. Oh, what's the meaning of life? What is it? All this other shit, And I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, it's just a series of fucked up things happening and how you deal with it. So, like I said, I'm trying to be more chill now and not really get worked up about everything, not react emotionally to everything anymore.
Right.
Just, when and fuck it.
That's
Throw
it.
shit at the wall. See what happens. See what sticks.
That's good, man. That's good. It makes sense because if you could do something about it, you would, right? And if you can't do anything about it, why worry about it?
Right. There's no sense of worrying about it. You just what you have to focus on is what you're going to do next, because otherwise you're fucked.
Exactly.
Why be fucked unless you like the taste?
Yeah. There you go. But it makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, and I kind of like the short format too, because you get in, you get out, people get our whole show, and that's it. It's done.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I like it. So, I mean, we could basically wrap up here and be done. It's one of those kind of nights. Like, I have these ideas that are floating around in my head, and by the time I come out to saying them, I forgot.
There's also something really, I was thinking about this. Since it's a YouTube thing, the idea is not even necessarily subscribers, even though that's important, but it's how many views you get. So the chances that somebody will watch a smaller clip and will watch it repeatedly, especially if it's something funny, the chances of them watching the smaller clip is more highly likely than it is if the clip is a long clip where they would have to go into the part that they like and look around and try to find where it was that they heard what they heard that they thought was funny or whatever. So
what I like about some of the stuff we're doing here, right? And we have our show topics, we get into it, but then we get into a lot of the back office stuff, if you will.
Right.
Like the kind of like you have a radio show, and they have their meetings and they set up their agenda, what they want to do, and then when they go on the show, it's all show. For us, we pull back that veil a little bit because we're not really, we're not in the professional category. We talk about things like that as we're working on it and as we're learning things, and you go back and you can watch that and see where we were, where we're going to. And a lot of people might watch this and say, look, these fucking idiots, they don't know anything. A lot of people might watch it and say, oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Because a lot of it's trial and error for us, too.
Yeah.
And things like that, where they tell you that if you have a Facebook page and you're trying to advertise something, video clips of 3 minutes or less are the biggest things, because people don't have the attention span for anything more than that. And they're definitely not going to read anything. So, like if I would write a blog, and then I did the same exact blog in a video, and the video was quick and funny in a minute and a half. Like you said, you're going to get those hits, and they'll pass that around. And that's what goes viral.
Right.
So for us, we do the show, and we post the whole show so everybody can see whatever they want. And you have to have that portion of it because you want people to come on. You want interviews. You want, interviews do a couple of things. They have a fresh perspective for your show, a fresh idea, a fresh new thing. And they help advertising for both you and the guest, more exposure for all of you. So it's a nice thing. But then you can go back and the portions that you like, you clip them out and you use those into, just segments. Oh yeah, this was a good segment we did. Right now, we have the editing, the initial edits, and that's why I put them up as initial edit. And we'll post those, and when I would like to actually start advertising some of these things already. So because some of them are, you'll go back and review your shows. And I think some of them are really solid. I think some of them are really good, and we're going to keep getting better. And as you get more fan feedback and everything, you get even better than that. For a while, I had people sending me articles. It kind of stopped happening, but I want to get some more of those articles in. And you'll get that. You'll get people giving you ideas for doing the show, and it gives it more life.
Right.
And that's great. That's part of what I want to do all that. But you have you edit, have the show, and then as we go, if you like a part, We can clip out. Oh, that was a good one. We'll clip out that segment. Advertise just that segment. Let people see just that segment and do like exactly what you said. Because but you want it if your channel gets 10,000 hits, you need 10,000 hits on your YouTube channel before they will even review it for AdSense.
Makes sense, yeah.
So you can't even make money until 10,000 people or 10,000 views have hit your page.
Yeah.
And, obviously, they want to make it worth their time. They want to make sure that you don't have 230 hits for like over 6 years. Because why do they need money for that? What are you going to get? 6 cents?
Yeah, exactly. Makes sense.
Yeah. So, the idea is to have the whole source material and then clip that up. But that's what radio shows do. That's they save that all so that when they hit the little clips and they everybody, all talk shows do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be the ideal thing to do. Yeah.
But we got to get into blogs and stuff like that. Like I will be launching my new blog and the story behind that one, and I'll say it now because this is what we do. It's shameless self-promotion. This is all propaganda. Exit 20A. So I've been thinking about. I had my blog where Peacock's there, and I had well over 200,000 hits in 20 different countries, and some of them have had a lot of success, and some of them were really good. But it was older. I haven't touched it in sparingly over the years. Most of those are older, and it's a look that's not as professional. I want to put together something new with a new professional look, and do more of like a stream of consciousness stuff. Yeah, stuff that I'm thinking about, stuff about life, stuff that's just funny to me at the time. Whatever I feel like doing, but with more where you would look at it and think it was a professional look. And I've been listening because I like audiobooks. I've been listening to Slouching Towards Bethlehem by Joan Didion. And just a little background on that. I don't know if you were familiar with Cameron Crowe.
Cameron Crowe.
Say anything? Yeah. Directed Say Anything. Directed a lot of big movies.
Absolutely.
The movie Almost Famous is actually, and which he directed, is actually about him.
Right.
When he was 16, he wrote for Rolling Stone magazine, and he actually followed Led Zeppelin around. Your favorite?
Yeah, absolutely.
They changed the name of the band in the movie, but they actually have Led Zeppelin show up. But the editor of Rolling Stone magazine, he wrote a puff piece about the band, and he said, if you want to be a writer, read this book. And he specifically said the interview with Jim Morrison. And it was Joan Didion, Slouching Towards Bethlehem. And she's so incredibly descriptive and detailed, and that you're in there, like you really are there, like you understand, you're seeing. It's like a series of profiles, I guess. And you're really seeing who these people are. There's one on John Wayne, which is telling a story about John Wayne and Dean Martin.
Wow.
And this is close when John Wayne was really fucked up, when he was just diagnosed with cancer and shit like that.
Wow. And
she really gives you insight into the times and into these people. But she doesn't use the 50 Cent words. She doesn't try to be overly poetic, even though she is. She uses simple language and just uses the fine details of everything. And that's the kind of some of this kind of stuff that I want to write about in my blog. I want to kind of be that way. It doesn't have to be anything but nonsense that I'm thinking about at the moment. But it shows some part of my personality. Gets it out there. So I've been thinking about doing something serious that with a good look, and I just couldn't figure what it was. So my brother Ringo, everybody knows Ringo. He's driving down to the Buffalo Bills game in Jacksonville, the playoff game, and he passes this exit to fucking Cockyville, wherever the fuck it was. Exit 20A.
Right.
20A. That's a good name. So I look it up because you always have to. You get an idea. You got to Google it to see if anybody else has it out there already. You got to see.
Sure.
And then once you see that nobody has it, you gotta. Then I start looking for images so I can start building it. So I look for exit 20A size, and what the fuck do I see? exit 28, Francis Lewis Boulevard on the Grand Central Parkway. The exit to
Yep.
get to your fucking house.
Yep. It was meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's,
I mean, the
that's
amount of
hilarious.
times that I got off of that exit to go do this kind of type of shit and talk about this type of stuff that would be in that blog.
Yep.
And to go over,
And play softball and
all the fields are there. Like there's like 10 fields over there.
Yep.
So I was, because most of the nightly games are over there too. So I was there. I was at that park at least once a week for 8 months out of the year.
Yeah.
For God knows how many years. So yeah, so that's gonna happen. And it's again, when people are watching the show and you talk about these things, then they're gonna be, oh, okay. They might go pick up, think about Slouching Towards Bethlehem by Joan Didion and read it and get into it and know what the fuck I'm talking about. Which, by the way, she does a profile on like the Haight-Ashbury, right? And people glorify the fucking hippie movement. They glorify these fucking people. And if you watch the movie Kids about those degenerates getting fucking high and raping people and, passing AIDS around to 12-year-old girls,
right?
That was the hippie movement. That was the hippie movement. Like, literally, she does a profile where it's literally the same shit as that fucking movie. And it's like, what, really? And it's fucking nuts. A mother giving fucking acid to her 5-year-old fucking daughter. As if it's like fucking... This is the hippie movement. This is the Haight-Ashbury in fucking San Francisco that everybody talks about how great it was because everybody was hanging out with the Grateful Dead. Yeah, because they were 14 years old, high on everything, fucking.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
the women, the hippie girls. Oh, what? You've never been raped? Like, it was like they would get fucked up. People would get them fucked up and gang rape them, and it was like,
yeah,
everyone, all of them, they all experienced it. If you were a hippie chick, getting raped was normal.
Yeah, no.
It was like an actress in Hollywood having to suck a dick to get a role.
Yeah, no, they thought of it as free love or whatever, right? Free, whatever the hell.
Free love for 40 fucking dudes. And she was just passed out.
Right. That was that the phrase, free love, or what? What was the phrase that they used?
Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah, So.
So it's all romanticized bullshit about fucking dirtbag degenerates.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then they all grew up to be college professors.
and taught socialism because they thought that it worked,
Right, because they believed that it worked. And they were all just fucking hopped up and, and getting by because you can't get by on $6 a week back then.
Right. And you know what fucked up the movement ultimately in the end? You know what fucked it all up? Is people were going down to San Francisco just for the drugs.
Yeah, and that's what she's talking about. A lot of it too is that it turned out to be a lot of like people pretending to have these rallies and things like that just so they get drug connections.
Yep, just for the drug connections.
Crazy shit, man. I prefer that people listen to this stuff and they definitely on this it's track 11 on the audio, but
right.
It's like I recommend it to anybody because I wish I could legally put up some of the clips of this, and it'll make you think twice about what people talk about, what's real, and what the fantasy is,
and what's romanticized. Exactly.
Yeah, people romanticize any kind of crazy shit. Somewhere out there are people romanticizing segregation.
Right.
It's just people fucked up. Anyway, so on that note, I think it's smoothly we kind of went 45 minutes on there,
and it was a quality show, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think this
a little flub in the middle, but where I kind of was scared at the screen, didn't know what to say because I was a little too, not in myself, not in my own mind.
I think this is the funniest we've been. I think, in my opinion,
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't mind the I don't know because having the 5 or 6 stories, it's good to have some things to back up for. But having the 5 or 6 stories, like last week, we kind of blew through them really, really quickly.
Right.
But it was kind of a lot to blow through like that. I think tonight we had 3 that were pretty good, and we just stayed on them for a little while, quick, got over them, talk about some shit.
Right.
Boom, done.
Exactly.
You know,
Short and
and
sweet.
and we got the essentials in. You know, animal action, throwing, and cock breaking.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
important topics.
All the important topics, all the current events.
Right, exactly. Just the news that people need to know. That's originally
Exactly.
what we were here to do, was provide the news that people need to know.
That's what we're here for.
And I think tonight we stayed on mission.
Exactly. I feel good about it.
I feel good about it, right? I mean, like all of this, like what we're doing right now, I kind of like my posture here, saying the things that I'm saying, the things that are coming out of my mouth that are obviously nonsense, but I have conviction saying them. I appear to have conviction saying them. And that, I think, is something we have to strive for.
Exactly. It's all about sincerity and genuineness.
Right, exactly. Being in congruence with yourself.
Exactly. I'm down with
On
that.
that note, yep. Well, have a good night, folks. Walter, any final words?
Take care of the Kinko's guy.
There you go. Take care of the Kikos guy. Good night, folks.
Good night.
All right, so I stopped the recording there. Yeah, that was pretty good. We'll see. I don't know how much you're gonna be able to listen to it tomorrow, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's funny. It still says live on my screen here.